Some people may think that selling a home is just as easy as taking some photos, throwing it online, and waiting for the offers to roll in. That is not true. And we see sellers make mistakes a lot of times that cost them thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. So here's the top 6 mistakes we see sellers make. We're here to help you avoid them. Here we go. I'm Chris Mullenberg, founder of the Mullenberg Real Estate team at eXp Realty, and we work with sellers not just to get their home marketed and sold, but to make sure that they get the absolute best price, the best terms, and that they have the least amount of hassles. So that's why we're so intent on avoiding seller mistakes, and we're here to help because every seller we've worked with over the years said, wow, wouldn't have known that. Well, we would have missed that. We're really glad we had you guys in our corner. So that's what we're here for. And check out this list to make sure that you do not make the same mistakes we've seen some make. The number 1 mistake sellers make, this is the most obvious, it's overpricing. Now, I understand human psychology makes you say, well, we can always come down in price. So let's shoot for the moon. We can always come down. Statistically speaking, this will net you less money on your sale. So the sweet spot pricing approach is really the approach you should do, because the overpricing allows your home to potentially sit on the market longer, which then buyers say, well, what's wrong with that home? Why is it sitting? Oh, they don't have any offers. It's been 30 days. Let's make them a lower offer. Now you're just in the negotiation battle. Whereas if you had priced it in the sweet spot, then you would have multiple people interested in your property. You may or may not get a bidding war every time, but you will be able to stand firm on your terms and your price, and you haven't now priced it to negotiate. Because if you price it to negotiate, you're going to get negotiation. If you price it in the sweet spot, you, the seller, are going to have the leverage and you get to call the shots with the buyer. Check out our video on pricing in the sweet spot. It's a good one. All right, second mistake we see sellers make is neglecting repairs and upkeep. Now, there was a time that the market was so red hot that, buyers were ready to buy almost anything that hit the market. But that's not the case anymore. And really a normal market is not going to absorb homes that need a lot of work, right? If a buyer walks in and sees 5 different homes on a weekend and 4 are in pretty good or excellent condition and 1 is, needs some TLC, a little rough around the edges, seller didn't really clean up, do the touch-up paint, they're just going to have a little bit different stigma around that property, and they're going to say, well, that one's worth less than these other 4 in my mind. So psychologically, we have to make sure that your house is prepped up and ready. Even if you don't have a huge fix-up budget, we can get a lot done for a little bit of money, and just a little bit of time and effort goes a long way on curb appeal, touch-up paint, clean up, just to really make your home look awesome. We specialize working with sellers to do this with our in-house handyman and remodel team, our staging team. It's all part of our listing package. So you can roll that right into your closing costs at the sale and make sure that your home shows as good as it can. A quick side note, sellers often ask us, well, okay, I know my carpet's really old. Can't we just throw the buyer, a $5,000 credit for flooring? That can be done, but you're probably stepping over thousands of dollars just to save a little on the front end there. Now, if you went to go ahead and get the new carpet or flooring in and show the home even better, there's a strong likelihood that you can actually sell the home for more than you would and get that money back. And actually, if you're going to spend $5,000 on flooring, let's get $10,000 out of the price, right? And actually make it a return on your investment. So don't get lazy. Don't cut corners if you want to net the most on your sale. Number 3 mistake sellers make is lack of focus on staging. Now, sellers may think, why should I even put time, effort, or money into staging? Well, we've got lots of before and after photos to tell the story here. And, anybody who has browsed Zillow or any site looking at homes, you can tell those listings that just, you say, wow, this place looks awesome, because the staging and the photos just came together and the place looked awesome. I've seen that exact same wow home on previous listing photos that they didn't focus on staging, didn't, put things in the right place to really make the rooms feel open, and it looks like a completely different home. I mean, a home that potentially would be worth $20,000 or more less than the well-staged home. So do not cut the corners on staging. It goes the furthest you could think of in your home prep. is probably the most important piece. So we do not let our sellers pass this one up. All right, fourth common seller mistake is not working with the right agent or team, or not working with an agent at all. Sellers who think that they can go with a low cost or discount broker or try to sell it on their own often realize that, okay, realtors are worth what they bring to the table. And we've run our numbers side by side for years. We are outpacing flat fee brokers, discount brokers, and for sale by owner, even with our seller paying us commission. So even though they pay us more, they actually net more in the sale after all the costs than going with someone who's not going to aggressively market, aggressively help you prep the home, stage, do all the things that we're talking about. You typically get what you pay for, like in most industries. So make sure that you really weigh the options. If you're considering selling by owner or you're considering more discount brokerage, at minimum, interview with a top team in the area that actually has a full package that we're talking about, so you can tell the differences, and then make your decision. So don't just think that the higher cost service package is going to net you less, because it's not true. The fifth mistake we see sellers make is lack of good marketing. Now, again, like lots of agents in today's world are just mediocre agents. Unfortunately, that's what we're here to do, is to help up the game for the industry. Lots of agents just think, all right, we take some photos, put it online, wait for the phone to ring. That is not enough in the marketing category, okay? There has to be a full marketing plan in place that includes, yes, internet and photos, but also paid marketing, paid social media ads. Video is huge, so making sure you're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and you're in all of these channels, because the modern buyer is looking in different places than they used to. It's not the old school way anymore. So you have to make sure that you're marketed really well, and we make sure to not leave out in-person marketing. This includes knocking on the doors in the neighborhood, picking up the phone and calling people in the neighborhood, working our own database, right? We've got 3,000 folks in our database at the Mullenberg team. We can run a search within the database to see, here's the most likely buyers interested in your house right now today based on their search history. So there's a lot more that goes into marketing than just some pretty photos and going online. All right, the sixth final major mistake we see sellers make when listing their home and selling is timing. There's never a bad time necessarily to sell your home during the year, but there's certainly some pockets and some windows to be aware of. Like, we know that in our local market, late August is a tough time to list your home. People are going back to school, finishing up vacations, they're distracted. That might be a time that I'd say, hey, let's wait till after Labor Day. We get into September, because I know in our local market that we always have a fall push. We kind of have a rebounded market September, October, and into November. So this, again, is key to having an agent who has a really close pulse on the market. We're advising our sellers right now, we're in spring, but the market has been just a little slow to wake up this year. Some years it wakes up and is rocking in late February, and some years it takes all the way into April before it's really going. So we're really plugged in, watching the market data every week, and we've got our sellers in our pipeline at the ready, right? We're doing all this home prep and staging. We've got it all ready, because when the time is right, we want to be ready to pull the trigger. So we might be launching next week, or we might wait 3 or 4 weeks. It really is market dependent. So give us a call and let's talk about your specific situation, making sure that you avoid these mistakes so that you net the most on the sale of your home. It's the least hassles, and you get to where you're going and you're super happy with the result.